I would like to bring Damian Lillard in here, one of the best players in the NBA and one of the most interesting people to talk to from the Portland Trail Blazers. And Dame, thank you for jumping in. And I love the opportunity to have the two of you here together. I know you were able to hear a lot of what the commissioner was saying. What are your thoughts on this notion of returning during this extraordinary time in American culture?
I think two things. I think, first of all, with the pandemic that we've been in over, the course of a few months, I think basketball would have been great for that, or will be great for that, because it'll be us getting back to somewhat normalcy, of having our athletes on TV playing, doing what we do, like you said. But I think as far as the racial injustice, I think that's where a lot of the struggle is for a lot of athletes. I think our league is made up of so many majority African American players, and a lot of our hearts are with our people. Our mind is with our people, and we feel like we should be a part of that. We should be a part of that fight, and that's where the struggle is. I think that's where you're hearing a lot of guys kind of coming out saying, maybe we should be focused on that instead of worrying about going back and jumping into the season. But then I think on the other hand, I can only speak for myself, but I think it goes for other guys as well. We are the financial support for our families and for a lot of our community. We bring a lot of that financial responsibility to support Black businesses and Black communities. So it makes a lot of sense for us from that standpoint. But I think a lot of guys in the league have a point. I think Kyrie and Dwight have a point. So I understand it all.
What impact do you hope that the protests there and across the country are having on people?
I hope that it has a sort of impact where people realize that the Black community has had enough. When I went and protested, it was thousands and thousands of people, and about half of them, or maybe a little bit less than half of them, were white people. And I think that type of support and that type of pressure being applied, can only cause change. Being consistent with that, and not only having Black people, but people who've been a part of the privilege, people who haven't directly been affected, kind of jumping in and joining the fight as well. I think that goes a long way. And I think you've seen that, because it's not only Black people, it's white people, it's not only United States, it's been other countries participating actively and consistently. So I think when you have that type of unity, it applies pressure and almost forces you to bring some type of change.
Basketball is obviously a sport where social distancing is not an option. How comfortable are you with the idea of playing? How comfortable are you that you will be safe and your teammates and everyone else involved will be safe and healthy going back to play?
I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't feel 100% comfortable. But, it's a risk that I'm willing to take. Like I mentioned earlier, this is what we do. This is our job. And this is how we take care of our families. And also, like I mentioned earlier, it's my way of providing for communities and impacting my community. So to play the game I love, to resume the season, I guess it's a risk that I'm willing to take.
And Dame, considering all the things that have happened and are happening, considering the long layoff and the pandemic in which we're all living, and all the elements of social justice and racial inequality that have come to the forefront in ways that have not happened in my lifetime and maybe never before, what will it mean to you to go back and play? What will playing basketball mean to you in a way that maybe it would have been different than it ever was before?
I'm not sure. Like you said, it's something that none of us have experienced in our lifetime. I mean, the world literally shut down. I don't know if that's ever happened, or when was the last time it did, if it has happened. Um, but I think it'll be difficult, to say the least, because a lot of our, as I also mentioned earlier, a lot of our hearts, is with our people, and that's hard to go out there and be your best self, or the best version of yourself as an athlete, when you're not completely right personally, or something isn't sitting right with you personally. And that's something that's, not just going to go away. So I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we're going to see when we get there.
Dame Lillard, we very much appreciate your time and your candor tonight. Stay healthy. Best of luck, and hopefully we will see you on the floor in just a few weeks.
Appreciate it, man. Good to see you.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.